All right, time to start our Friday weather live stream. It's 8:35. Thanks for getting the very latest forecast here from the First Alert Weather Center. This is Chief Meteorologist Steve Beylon. Are you ready for a weekend? Yeah, me too. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a much different weekend than we've seen recently. It's going to feel very fall-like, and it'll feel very October-like, easy for me to say. Definitely a little bit of a change compared to some prior weekends. Why don't we start off by looking at First Alert Viper Max. We had some passing showers overnight into early this morning, and now looks like we are drying out across northeast Wisconsin. So let's talk about our next weather maker, and if you've been out and about, you probably have noticed it is windy. Gusty west winds will be blowing on through this afternoon and delivering some unusually cool weather for this time of year. There's our forecast, a high of 58 today. We'll see gusty west winds, partly sunny skies, more clouds than sun for sure, and a couple sprinkles or pop-up showers are possible, especially north of the Fox cities as we go into the midday and the afternoon. Right now, we're in the upper 40s in the Fox Valley, 48 in Appleton and Green Bay, ditto that for Marinette, 50 degrees in Wapaka and Manitowoc. And the wind is out of the west, and sustained speeds are very close to 15 miles an hour. But look at some of those higher gusts, definitely in the 20-mile-per-hour range. Stronger gusts in Sheboygan right now, gusting around 35 miles an hour. And as we push forward hour by hour with First Alert Pinpoint Predictor, you can see through the afternoon, west winds will intensify, and through the midday and the afternoon, gust over 30 miles an hour. So if you've got any loose items in your yard, like patio furniture that could get tipped over, just be careful driving on bridges and overpasses, especially if it's a north to south road. And I think you're going to have a lot of windy weather all the way through this afternoon and into this evening. But tonight the wind is going to slow down. So we'll have some calmer conditions later tonight and into tomorrow. High temperatures today will work their way into the upper 50s and should hit about 60 in Sheboygan. Rhinelander, wow, 49 for a high temperature. Now 75 is a normal or average high temperature for the 5th day of September. Our high temperatures today will be about 15 to 20 degrees colder than what is typical for this time of year. The coldest high temperature that Green Bay's ever had on any September 5th, since weather records have been kept since the 1880s, that's 60 degrees on this date back in 1981. So if we have a high of just 58, well, this will potentially break our coldest high temperature ever on this date. So there's First Alert Pinpoint Predictor tracking the sky conditions. 9 o'clock this morning, clouds and a little bit of some peekaboo sunshine from time to time. Here's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's generally along and north of Highway 10. There might be a couple sprinkles or a passing light shower. Showers will be wrapping up late this afternoon. There's 5 p.m. And then tonight, looks like broken cloud cover, probably dry for high school football games. But after midnight, there might be a few showers that slide across east central Wisconsin. Not too big of a deal because when you wake up Saturday morning, the rain is moving on out. Here's your First Alert Super 7-day forecast. Today, partly sunny, mostly cloudy, windy, cool, a high of 58. Chance of a couple showers north of the Fox cities. And then this evening, we will see temperatures dropping back into the low 50s for high school football games. By the way, our Operation Football Game of the Week is the Apple Bowl, which has been happening every year since 1960. Fox Valley Lutheran at Xavier, broken clouds, breezy west winds, but not as strong as the wind this afternoon. And temperatures in the low 50s, so don't forget your blanket, don't forget your jackets or your hoodies. The weekend still looks cool, highs in the low 60s. I would say Saturday has a mix of sun and clouds, not as much wind. There might be a shower late in the day. Sunday is probably dry, partly cloudy, a high of 63 degrees, and that's about where the temperature will be as the Packers kick off against the Detroit Lions. Start of the new season, Lambeau Field, 3:25 that afternoon, 63 degrees, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. We'll see a modest warm-up as we go into next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and even Thursday. Highs will be not that far from 70 degrees. I expect some showers and a little bit of wind as we go into Tuesday, but I'm thinking that Wednesday and Thursday are probably going to be dry. And here's a First Alert update on Thursday's Packers game. That's right, they turn around and have a short week. Packers at home Thursday evening, 7:15 at Lambeau Field against the Washington Commanders. And like Sunday's game, Thursday's game will probably have a kickoff temperature near 63 degrees, a light northeast wind, and mostly clear skies. So between now and next Thursday, temperatures will be generally at or below average for this time of year. Definitely a very fall-like feeling to our forecast between now and as we get towards the middle of the month. All right, don't forget, as you go about your weekend and enjoy your plans, to have our forecast at your fingertips. Use our free WBAY First Alert Weather app. See that, that goofy little circle with all the dots there? It's a QR code. You can scan that with your camera phone, and when it pops up in the screen, you can just tap on the little link, and then boom, you download that app for free. It's definitely very helpful with whatever you have going on this weekend. All right. Well, let's go back to the Weather Center. Here we are on Friday, getting ready to go into the weekend. And whether it's football or whether it's fishing or whether it's anything that you're doing in Northeast Wisconsin, we hope you have a nice weekend. But just make sure you're ready for the cooler weather. Definitely means a little bit of a switch in the wardrobe. So, all right, Action 2 News, mid-morning, starting up in about 15-20 minutes. Aisha Morales is behind me. She'll be taking care of the news side of things, and I'll be taking care of the weather side of things. We'll get you up to date with our top news stories, including all the Packer prep going into Sunday's big game against the Detroit Lions. All right, thanks for watching. We hope you have a fabulous Friday and even better weekend. Thanks for tuning in.